Did Enzo Ferrari drive Ferruccio Lamborghini to make the world-famous Lambo? Ferruccio Lamborghini is the brains behind one of the world's most well-known luxury car companies. Still, most people don't know that before he began creating supercars, Lamborghini actually owned the largest tractor company in Italy and was a prisoner of war. But did a conversation with Ferrari become the turning point for Lamborghini to make fast cars too? In today's video, we'll determine if that's the case. Early life. What we only know of the childhood of the Italian businessman was that he was born to grape growers Antonio and Evelina Lamborghini on April 28, 1916. The information on Ferruccio's early life is surprisingly few. However, we do know that he's more interested in tinkering with farming equipment than farming the family grapes. And Ferruccio followed his interest and attended the Fratelli Taddia Technical Institute near Bologna to further his passion for mechanics. Then again, many sources disagree about Ferruccio Lamborghini's field of study. According to Jolliffe and Willard, Lamborghini studied engineering but could not complete his degree because of his military responsibilities. One source says Lamborghini studied industrial design. And finally, it was also noted that he completed an apprenticeship in a mechanical business in Bologna before enlisting in the Italian Royal Air Force after receiving a degree in industrial arts. There were also claims that after graduating in 1940, Lamborghini was drafted to serve in the war. Lamborghini was enlisted in the Italian Royal Air Force in 1940. During his stint in the Air Force, he worked as a mechanic on Rhodes Island and eventually became a unit supervisor for vehicle maintenance. When Rhodes Island fell to the British in 1945, Lamborghini was captured and could not leave until the following year. Despite getting married, his wife passed away in 1947, just as Tonino, his first child, was born. How Lamborghini started. In Pieve di Cento, Lamborghini established a garage following World War II. In his spare time, he built tractors, the first Lamborghinis he would ever make, after modifying an old Fiat Topolino he had purchased. Ferruccio Lamborghini identified a developing agricultural and industrial regeneration market in post-war Italy in 1947, and an idea came to Lamborghini. He wanted to capitalize on that, so Lamborghini's Carioca tractors were constructed. He used military vehicle engine parts and differentials from ARAR centers. Ferruccio's first tractors were based on Morris trucks' 6-cylinder petrol engines. Because gasoline in Italy was too expensive, Lamborghini designed a fuel atomizer for the Morris engines. The tractor started with petrol and then switched to the less expensive diesel fuel. Due to the Carioca's early success, Lamborghini formed Lamborghini Trattori and started making tractors. Lamborghini's tractors were a hit that he then diversified into other businesses, such as the production of heating and cooling systems. These ventures were also successful, and his wealth increased, enabling him to buy several high-end sports cars. As the era of fast cars was about to start for Lamborghini, so did his encounter with Ferrari. But before we get to their meeting, make sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button. Click the notification bell so you'd be notified whenever we release a new video. Ferraris, at the time, was one of the best vehicles, so Lamborghini bought himself one. But it seems like the expensive car frequently broke down. In Lamborghini's opinion, Ferrari's vehicles were excellent but too noisy and abrasive to be used on public roads. He characterized them as converted racing cars with bad interiors. Ferraris from that era had sparse interiors that lacked the opulent features Lamborghini believed were necessary for a Gran Turismo vehicle. Lamborghini discovered Ferrari's vehicles had subpar clutches and needed frequent journeys to Maranello for rebuilds. And it frustrated Lamborghini that the mechanics would hide the car for several hours while they worked on it. He has already expressed his displeasure with Ferrari's allegedly subpar after-sales care. So, Lamborghini decided to air his concerns to Enzo Ferrari himself. Lamborghini said in a 1991 interview with Thoroughbred and Classic Cars, "I decided to talk to Enzo Ferrari. I had to wait for him for a very long time. Ferrari, your cars are rubbish," I complained. Lamborghini further said that the Il Commendatore was furious and said, "Lamborghini, you may be able to drive a tractor, but you will never be able to handle a Ferrari properly. Apparently, this was when Lamborghini decided to make a better car than Ferrari. But then again, some versions of the narrative revolve around a few key facts, including that Lamborghini visited Ferrari, challenged, mocked, or demanded upgrades for his automobile from Enzo, and was then disregarded as merely a tractor manufacturer. Whether Lamborghini's spite was sufficient justification for entering the vehicle manufacturing industry, if the exchange sparked other business interests, or if it was purely anecdotal. What we know is that many sources say that Lamborghini's financial motivations for entering the high-profit margin sports car industry vastly outweighed his emotional motivations. According to Lamborghini in the 1991 Thoroughbred and Classic Vehicles interview, Ferrari never spoke to the tractor maker again. Ferruccio further said that while Ferrari was a brilliant man, it was so easy to upset him. Whatever the truth about why Lamborghini made fast cars, we couldn't know for sure. But he was already aiming to make the ideal touring car that he believed no one could build for him. Lamborghini launched his auto manufacturing business after successfully improving one of his personally owned Ferrari 250 GTs to exceed stock cars. In contrast to Ferrari's offerings, Lamborghini thought a Grand Tourer should have high performance without sacrificing ride quality, interior embellishments, and tractability. As a shrewd businessman, Lamborghini also understood that if the parts used in his tractors were placed in a fast, high-performance automobile instead, he could make 3 times as much money. Already armed with the knowledge of making vehicles, he founded Automobili Lamborghini in 1963. And being a Taurus himself, Lamborghini chose a raging bull as the logo for the car firm because he loved the majestic beasts that Don Eduardo Miura bred, and the tractor-turned-car manufacturer loved bullfighting. In fact, Ferruccio used bullfighting references in naming his cars. So, Lamborghini started making elegant grand touring automobiles renowned for comfort and power. After the 1967 debut of the Miura Sports Coupe, which established the rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive configuration as the norm for high-performance vehicles, the business gained wide recognition. The decline of the automobile industry and Lamborghini's later years. But the 70s saw a decline in Ferruccio's businesses, and he needed to sell shares. During this time, the 1973 oil crisis came about, making consumers prefer cars that offer fuel economy. Soon enough, Lamborghini became disenchanted with the automobile industry, and in 1974, he left and built an estate on Lake Trasimeno. Here, he went back to what he grew up with, farming. Lamborghini enjoyed hunting and winemaking. He still had multiple business interests and even had a golf course at one point. And in 1993, Ferruccio Lamborghini died in Perugia 15 days after suffering a heart attack. Ferruccio Lamborghini's legacy. After many ownership changes, Volkswagen of Germany acquired Automobili Lamborghini in the late 1990s. The Murcielago, which can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour, and the Gallardo were among the high-performance vehicles the business continued producing. Most, if not all, of Ferruccio's businesses are still operating in some capacity today. In addition to creating the town life, an electric microcar unveiled at the Bologna Motor Show in 1999, his son Tonino also produces a line of apparel and accessories under the Tonino Lamborghini brand. The Lamborghini winery is run by Ferruccio Lamborghini's daughter Patricia on his Umbrian estate. The Centro Studi e Ricerche Ferruccio Lamborghini, founded by Ferruccio's son Tonino in Dosso in 1995, was relocated to Argelato in 2014 and renamed Ferruccio Lamborghini Museum. From mechanic to magnate, Ferruccio Lamborghini made a name in the industry through hard work, guts, and smarts. If you want more videos about the life of the rich, check out our channel. See you in our next video, and always remember, Invictus Luxury, for people who want more.